So the promise today is to take you through all the pro features. So I have just set up a sample account or just activated it on the back end here. So I'm going to take you straight through from receiving the welcome email to activating your profile to setting up your banner, all that stuff. So it's going to be a full walkthrough. Many of you already have pro accounts. Some of you are even on the studio plan, but I just want to take the time to take us through every step of the process here so that you see how to use all of your features. So I'm going to share my screen and I'll just take us through it. And if there's any questions along the way, I might not be able to see you guys while I'm doing this. So just feel free to unmute and just say, "Hey, I have a quick question," and then we'll just stop right there and address it. So. Okay, here we go. So, okay, I'm in my, uh, oh, maybe maybe that didn't go. Okay, let me go to, oh my goodness, I think I activated the person with the wrong email address so that I didn't receive it. Give me 1 second. No demo is perfect. I think I sent my welcome email to a bad address. Hold on, I'll go take a look. I'm just in my system admin here. Hmm. Okay. Uh, you know what we're gonna do? I'm just gonna log in as this person. We'll just change the password right here. Make sure I get the email address right. And yeah, we're just gonna go in as this person. All right. So I have logged in as my sample account. I just didn't when I activated the account, didn't trigger the welcome email. That's why I didn't get it. So okay. I am creating a profile for Crystal sample client. The reason I'm going to do Crystal is because I'll just show you. I'm going to steal a profile from the mortgage design team. You guys all know Julie Sharamito. Julie Sharamito has a really nice brand, good logo and everything, nice colors, and she's got on her team, she's got Crystal Sales. And I'm pretty sure we don't have a profile for Crystal yet on the system. We do for a couple of her team members, but I'm basically going to build a profile for Crystal Sales, but I'm calling it Crystal Sample, just in case we already have her on the system. So when you first log in to Contentflow, you're going to be taken through this onboarding wizard. And this essentially already knows your profession. Crystal is a mortgage broker. So we're just going to tab through this real quick. And this allows you to sort of set up some of your branding, select your location because as it generates content for you or you generate content, it's going to know where you are. She's in Kamloops, actually. And then you're going to upload a headshot. Now I'm just going to, do I already have her headshot? No. So we're just going to grab her headshot here, save as image, upload the headshot. And we're going to upload the mortgage design team logo, which I do have. And we're going to hit continue. And then what it's going to do now is it's going to present you with a bunch of banner options. So what do you want your marketing brand to look like on the system? And we'll just tab through. We could have a cityscape. This one's nice because it's kind of coastal. So let's do this one. We're going to generate this style. This will take, usually takes, it says it takes 2 to 3 minutes, but usually takes about 1 minute. and it'll design the banner. And why it's important to have a banner on here is because you when you're a pro user on Contentflow, you get access to certain websites that are publishing articles that you can share with your clients. So if you're just a basic pro user, you get access to Breaking Bank, where we're publishing articles across real estate, mortgage, wealth, insurance, tax, basically all financial content. And if you happen to be Smith Maneuver certified or an SMCP, then you also automatically unlock the Good Debt Digest, which is another site specifically for Smith Maneuver certified professionals that is publishing investment, wealth planning, mortgage planning, basically all content related to the Smith Maneuver. So you'll see here how quick and easy this was to create a banner. It did all the work behind the scenes. It took out, the background, just focused on Crystal. It cleared out the background on the logo so that it would look good laid over the image. And I'm just going to approve this. We don't need to try another style. This turned out pretty good. So we're going to say approved. And now my personal profile is all set up and I can enter Contentflow. And you'll notice on the left, I have access to certain things. So we've got a library of content that we can share. I can look at what sites I'm approved to use, and I can create or generate articles, emails, scripts, slides, even carousel posts for my social media. And there's some other tools here like Blog Embed and Scraper. I don't automatically studio features are something different entirely. It's basically your full automated social media manager on autopilot. That's a different tier, but we're just going to take you through all the pro features today. The other thing that you have access to here before we get into actually using the tools is over here on the top right, you've got a little profile icon, and we can click into my profile. And this it basically allows you to go through your account profile, make sure everything's accurate. So you'll see here it's got email address, name, title, it's got the location. We can click through to the brand. It's got my brand assets. We're going to add a brand kit here. Actually, sorry, the brand kit and templates are studio features, but that's okay. We'll come back to that. We can play with some templates in a second. We've got ad banners. So this is the ad banner I created. Basically, every site allows you to have a top ad banner and some sidebar banners and a footer banner. There's other images that you could upload here, like a link to your mortgage application or a link to your financial planning consultation form, like whatever it is that you want to promote on the site. But we're just going to leave it with a top banner for now. I don't need to go generate all those things. We've got an author profile. This allows us to essentially add a bio and social handles and other things, which I'm not going to do today. But the more information you can give the system, the better your author profile is going to look. And then we also have Daily Digest, or actually, this is defaulted to a weekly digest, and this will basically just send a summary of all the content that is published to you by email. So if you're approved to use Breaking Bank content and Good Debt Digest content, you'll get a nice little email summary that says, hey, these are all the articles that were published this week, and they're ready for you to share. So it's going to also bring some of that content into your inbox so that you can use it efficiently without having to come back to the system. And then you've got your ability to change your password and so on. So that's all very nice. Then I'm going to bounce over here on the left, and I'm going to show you how the library works. So a library is basically a compilation of all of the articles that are on the system from your approved sites. Now, when I just launched this sample account here, they're not Smith Maneuver certified, so they just have access to Breaking Bank. But I can hone in quickly and just say, show me mortgage-related articles or real estate related articles and so on. So here's a good one on summer renovations that deliver the best return on investments. So if I want to see that article in action, I can just press read article here. And you'll notice right away, I'm on the website. The article brought in my personal code, Crystal Sample. And what that's telling the website, this is the Breaking Bank website. What it's telling the website is, hey, this visitor is here because they're a client of Crystal's. And so it's displaying all of Crystal's marketing right away in the site. So here's the banner, here's her logo up here, and you can see, this is the article that's all about those renovations and so on, which is really kind of cool. What I'll show you though is this article is written by Breaking Bank Realty. So if I click on the home page, my marketing banner stays active, and I've got the whole, the whole list of all the articles that were published. Breaking Bank Mortgage, Breaking Bank Tax. So we've got articles on Breaking Bank that are published across, like I said, mortgage, real estate, wealth insurance, tax, investment, all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to bounce back to content flow because I can also, there's a really cool feature. If I go to sites, I can see the sites that I'm approved on, and that I'm approved to use Breaking Bank only for now. But I can open up the authors, and I can effectively replace myself with any of the approved authors on the site. So if I want to be, let's say I'm a mortgage broker, so I want to be the author of all the mortgage related articles. So I can just click on that. Now, if I go back to Breaking Bank, and I'll just refresh the page, do you see here at the top, all of a sudden, I'm actually the author here. This was a mortgage article a minute ago. So now if I come back through here, you see Breaking Bank Tax. This one's by Crystal Sales or Crystal Sample. If I click into this article, I'm actually the co-author on this one. And if I come down to the bottom, you can see I've got a new about the author tag here. Now, let me just show you that that doesn't show up on other articles. So if I go click on Breaking Bank Tax, I click into this, management company article. I'm not the author here. And if I come down to the bottom, I'm also not the author, right? Because I'm not a tax expert. But if I come into Content Flow and I say, you know what, I want to also be the author of tax articles, then when I'm on this page, suddenly there you go. My author profile appears, and I come back up to the top, and I am the author of the tax article. So th this gives you the ability to really control your messaging and your branding with your customers. You get to say, "Hey, I want to appear like the expert." So Breaking Bank is writing all this content, or Content Flow, our team. We're writing all this content across different sites for you. And you get to say, what articles you want to share with your customers, which articles you want to be the author for, and so on. So some really awesome flexibility to make you look like you're the professional on the site. So I'll just come back. So we'll leave that in place here. I'll just actually unclick tax for a second. The other thing I want to show you is I'm going to go back to the profile and come down to the author profile. Now you understand why it makes sense to have information in here. So if I go over to the mortgage, Crystal's website here, I'm just going to grab this bio and I'm going to put it in here. Actually, I caps out at 200 words. There's a reason for that, but let's just leave it like that. And we'll put in, um, I'll just put mine in because I don't know crystals off the top of my head, but that's okay. So we're going to hit sync. And now if I go into, say, that mortgage article, I can see here I've now controlled my author profile. So I've got my bio, and I've got a little social link here. I can click that, and I'm not logged into Facebook, but you can see that I've actually I didn't even put my correct handle. This is some other Jason Henneberry. I got to make sure I put the correct handle next time, but you can see it links back to my social page. So you can fully control all of your author credentials. You can add your website, all your social handles, and anything else you want to direct traffic to. So that's kind of cool. I'm just going to take this out of here because that's not my Facebook profile. I'm going to save that. So now you have a sense of how you can control your brand, your profile, how you can be the author of certain articles that you want to be, and how you can use the library to find those articles real quick and share any of these that you want. So you just come in here and you click into the article itself. So I'll just click on this and it'll pull up the URL for that article, and it already has your ref code. The ref code is what drives your brand. If I put a different ref code in here, same article, different branding because it's a different partner who's sharing that article, right? So you want to make sure that anything you share always has your ref code in it and it'll hold your brand. The good news is out of content flow, any of these sharing buttons and so on will automatically include your brand. So this allows you to also share, you can quickly grab the URL right here. You can just copy this if you want to drop it in an email, drop it on social media. It'll always have your branding attached to it. And it also has the beginnings of a social post. So if you decided that you wanted to put this up on, say, social media, here's Instagram, it'll come in, it'll build that post for you. Actually, let me do LinkedIn because Instagram has a bit of a delay. So I'll just do LinkedIn. Obviously, you have to have your LinkedIn or your Facebook. You have to be logged in, but it'll come to the site and it'll build your post for you automatically. And each social platform is different. Some allow you to bring in captions automatically, some don't. So this is, this is not bad, but you can post this. So you can say, this is the article. You can hit post, and I'm just going to view the post. I'm going to delete it in a second. Might take a second here. Hold on. Just refresh the feed. Oh, there it was. It took a second to show up. Here's the post. Oh, you see, as soon as I click on it, I come back to the site. So if I want to open up the actual, I guess that's it. There's the post. So I could have written more about it, and then I would have a link to it. And then that link, I'll do it again. You can see it automatically has the ref code in it. So it's really quick to basically go share an article you want on social media, and you have all these different toggles: Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, X. You could throw it into your email. You could just copy with the link if you want to, and do other stuff. So there you go. So very, very easy to share content. Now, you also have the ability to add I'm going to get into publishing in a second, but you have the ability to add a blog embed onto your website. So what this allows you to do is it allows you to basically put Breaking Bank on, and if you're approved to use the Good Debt Digest, it'll bring that into your site. Let me show you. I'm gonna pick on Deborah here today because we were just looking at hers today. So I know she has one on her site. This is Deborah's site. And if you scroll down, she's got a really wonderful site, lots of cool visuals and everything. And you can see here, it's like a continuation of her site. It's just an embedded blog that essentially has, content from Breaking Bank. And that she can control what this blog, what content is on this blog. So let me show you how that works. And you guys all have access to this, and you just grab the little embed code, which is right up here, and you just copy this, give it to your developer, put it on your website, and what the settings that you have here will automatically show up for you on your website. So let's just take a look at it. We'll just preview this. This is how the blog appears on your website. So this would be the heading, my perfect blog. This is my personal blog. This is just preset text. And then uh, click into read the full article right there, right on your site. So it's kind of cool. So it's a nice way to have a blog on your site. We're gonna close this. We're gonna do some stuff to it. I'll close that down. We're gonna just edit some of the settings right up here in the top. Just hit edit. And we could call this, you know, Crystal's financial blog. Or let's do something cooler. Let's go financial wellness with Crystal, right? And then we can say, um, check out my cool content. This is a series of articles about financial wellness, whatever. We can write whatever we want there. And then let's change it to a magazine style and we'll hit save settings. If you have multiple sites approved, you can decide the site mix. So right now it's just all Breaking Bank. But if you also had the Good Debt Digest, you can say, okay, I want this blog to only show articles from Good Debt Digest. So you could actually select the percentage here, but there's only one site approved, so we don't need to do that right now. So we'll go preview. So you can see here, we got a new title, we've got the background, and we've got a new layout too. We went for like a different style with like a longer image on the top, pulls it up, and you can view the full article here. The other thing you can do is, so these are all full articles basically that embed on your site, and they're just brought in automatically as we publish content on Breaking Bank and the Good Debt Digest. The other thing you can do is if you prefer to just have, say, a summary, you can do that. You go to Edit and Summaries, and we're going to hit Save, and we're going to preview this. This is a new feature, so I hope it works. Should work. May not have worked. Yeah. Oh, it did. Okay, cool. So notice here, if we look, there's a read the full article. So these are essentially tabs or windows that when you click it, instead of the article popping up right here in line, it pulls you over to where the site is located and brings your branding in. So this is really cool if you've got, sidebar ads, links to your other assets. Let me show you here. I think Julie has some really good sidebars. Yeah, cool. So here's Julie's. She's Mortgage Design Team, Julie Sharamito. She's got this one. She also has a purchase calculator here on the side. So, a little bit more control over the whole website. She's got a link here to like her YouTube channel. So you basically can control more stuff on the Content Flow site. So you would use the summaries feature here under edit so that you've got basically a blog that's building automatically on your website, but it's linking back to your full branded profile and the full set of articles over on Content Flow. So that's blog widget. So you got lots of control over that. And yeah, so what we'll do now is we'll jump into generating some content. And we can generate articles, emails, scripts, slides, and carousels. I'm going to start by generating a carousel because they're pretty cool. So you can put in here what you want your carousel topic to be. So for example, we could say, I want to target first-time home buyers, that kind of thing. But you can also use inspiration source. So let's just go from the library. So we'll select a content piece from the library. So these are all the articles that we just talked about. So here's the summer renovations that deliver the best results. We were looking at that article a moment ago. So it's going to use all the content from that article as the inspiration source. And we're going to just we'll pick this lifestyle image and we're going to go with, let's see, we'll go with some sky colors and we're going to say include my logo, include my social handle. So we'll say at, Crystal Sample and include my website, which is, I will skip that for a second here. Actually, let's do it. Just make sure I get the right one. The Mortgage Design Team. Cool. Just grabbing the website. And I might get rid of the HTTPS. This is just going to be text anyway. Great. So now we're going to say continue. We're going to do 4 slides. We'll go medium length on the slides, and we can say what we want to do. So we're going to say comment a keyword. So let's say comment article, and this is going to now generate all the content. Don't waste money on renovations. Luxury remodels pay for, or, rarely pay off. So if I wanted to change anything, you can. So do this instead. You can modify this content. You could regenerate it if you want to. And then the call to action is want the full list of high ROI summer renovations, comment article, and I'll send you the breakdown. So this is kind of cool. This will generate, the 4 slides with the style that we wanted. It does them concurrently, which is great. So you don't have to wait too long. It's building all 4 simultaneously. And it does take a quick second. So basically what it did is it formatted everything, figured out the length of the text, figured out how to incorporate the imagery. And uh, yeah, and so if you're using any kind of workflows, like ManyChat or things like that, where people comment to get stuff, this helps you with that. So this gets you quickly generating content for your socials that's super custom for you, that you can put call to actions in, whether it's a link in bio or it's a comment keyword, or you don't even have to have a call to action. It can just be, social media stuff. So, and this is just one example. So here we go. So this template here, as you can see, it brought in my logo. It's got my handles down here at the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see that. Crystal Sample, Mortgage Design Team, and pretty good. Don't waste money on renovations. Do this instead. Ready to go. You can do this all on brand if you want. And yeah, pretty cool. So it just builds it for you. Comment article, really nice. And then you can just download basically these assets for yourself, and they'll come down into your download folder, and you can open these up and just put them on social media. I will give you a bit of a hint. If you are on the studio plan, this stuff gets generated automatically for you, and you get a daily digest of all the social posts, and all you have to do is one click approve it, and it'll get posted to your socials. It's pretty cool. That's just a little hint on some of the automations that come. So that's Carousel. You can always come back to it. It's right here. It's stored, and you've got different templates that you can choose from. So now, if you want to write an article, you can do that again from scratch. You can put in your topic. The more information you give it, the better. So again, you could say like, reverse mortgages for people downsizing, whatever you want to put in here. You can upload your own article. So if you already have something pre-written and you just want to publish it, you can drop in the title. This is a full, uh, editor. You can do whatever you want in here. Or you can use a library, like an article from the library that is inspiring to you. So let's say there's a topic in here that you want to write more about, and you're like, hey, this 5 smart tax strategies that could help Canadians more. Let's go deep on that. Let's write some more articles on that. So you could do that. So you could choose that as a topic. You come in here, and what the system is doing now is it's reading that article, and it's saying, okay, this is the best style for you. It gives you a strategic brief that you can open up, and it'll tell you what the recommended angle is for the article. It's basically figuring that out, and it's pre-populating calm authority, calm and measured. I mean, we're talking about 5 tax strategies, so it's kind of honing in pretty good. Insight mode is standard. You can be really strategic and it's going to get really analytical, but I would just do standard for, yeah, a fairly um, a fairly comprehensive article. If you wanted to go basic language, that's fine too. But this is just the level of strategic insight that the article is going to have. You can go short, long, medium. It defaults to medium just to keep it reasonable. 600 words for an article is pretty good. But these are all your different styles. You could be editorial, you could be contrarian, you could do a side-by-side scenario. So like let's say you're comparing the difference between a TFSA and an RSP. Side-by-side scenario is a great way to write an article for that. Checklist lead magnet. So this would be sort of like a how to 1, 2, 3 step-by-step style article and cautionary tale. And then so you can then layer on as well your tone. Do you want to be provocative? Do you want to be analytical, calm and measured? So we'll just sort of keep it like this. Um, we can, if we have lots of info, the system will determine whether or not the source info was enough for you to just write off that source info, or if it needs to go do some research. And if you want to go really in depth for a highly analytical, long article, you can press deep research. It'll take a lot longer, but we're using a bunch of different AIs here to go get the content. I am not going to generate this because what I want to do instead is I want to show you a different source. So there's a different source, which is Scrape. And Scrape is essentially where you leverage the social scraper. What we got here? We got a little red mark. Oh well. Okay, I'm gonna go to Instagram and I'm gonna pick on someone that I always pick on here, but Tom Moffat. Tom does some really great content and he's got lots of videos. So you go to his reels and let's see. He's got let's see, what do we have? Give your kids their inheritance early. So that's cool. Little video. And we don't need to totally understand what he's talking about here, but we're going to go up here. We're going to grab the video link and we're going to bring it into Content Flow and we're going to scrape that video. And what this will do is it'll fetch the video and it's going to bring in all the stats and everything. You can click from here. You can go watch it again if you want to. So you always have a reference point for what the video is, and it transcribed it. So this is his transcription. So now that I have this, I can use this as a source. I can use it to generate an article, carousel post, whatever I want. So let's go generate an article. So you can see here it's bringing in quite a bit of meat on the bone. We're going to hit continue. And it determined that this article would be way better as contrarian and provocative because obviously giving your kids an early inheritance is a bit contrarian and provocative. It's a strategic insight, and we need a little bit more research on this. So we're going to do that. So we're going to hit go. It's going to come up, it's going to review the content strategy. It's going to come up with some suggested titles for us. Why I'm giving my kids their inheritance at 25, not 75. Cool, let's do it. And then we have some different styles to choose from here. I'm going to go with a magazine style and just confirming all my settings. If I want to go back, I can. I can change the settings, generate the article. So this whole process, guys, is what we've done is we've assembled the best AI models for each step. The first step is analyzing the content source, figuring out what the article should be about, and coming up with some strategic insights. The second step from there is once you have all that information, is to figure out what voice should this be in. So figuring out the ideal way to talk about this topic, and that's the configuration step. Then after that, it goes through a totally different AI model to figure out some of the content. It's generating title ideas for you. And then based on your title selection, it then goes and generates the whole article. Then once the article is generated, which is, we can take a quick look at this, it then generates an image, again, a totally other AI model, because every AI model out there is evolving at different paces, and there's different ones that do perform different tasks better. So we've assembled all that, and behind the scenes, we're going to continue to basically plug in the best AI model for every step in the process. But this image is now reading the final output, the final article, and it's generating the most appropriate image based on the content. So the image is going to be very relevant to the article. So this is more of a personal story, right? Because the title was Why I'm Giving My Kids Their Inheritance. It's just about you giving your kids. So it leads with my daughter turns 25. The the math isn't right. The gifted death model doesn't work. Here's a rental property transfer. Like this is pulling from whatever Tom was talking about. So I we didn't watch this whole video, but obviously it's doing a pretty good job at nailing that. Here it's, we know that Crystal, her location is Kamloops. So it created an image with a 25-year-old, an older person. It's got the background of the BC interior. This is very, very custom content based on your settings in the system. Once you've got this, you can publish it. And we're going to go to Breaking Bank. So, this is our site that we're approved to publish on. If you're on Studio Plan, you get your own personal site, by the way. So there are ways to, like, we by default on Pro, we give you access to Breaking Bank. You can publish your own custom content there. But Studio has all these features pushing to your own personal site. So now you can see the article link. It's got the article. It's got my ref code in here already. It's published, so I can go to it. So this is live and on the internet now. So if I wanted to share this with my clients, I just grab the article link and off it goes. I go back to the home page. I can see it's right here. It's the most recent article written by me uh, today, August 12th. Now, what's cool about the way we have this system built is this does not show up for anybody else. So if I go to the site as Darcy and Renee, and I click here, it puts their banner in, but that article's gone. That article is absolutely 100% unique to Crystal. So, or you, if you're using this feature. So we've designed this in a way where you get to leverage Breaking Bank, the Good Debt Digest. You get all the content on here that our team is publishing for you, and then you can layer in your own custom content if you want. So I'll just show you that again. So I click on the link. I'm now on Crystal's branded version. I come down. Crystal's the author of the article. Everything works just seamlessly. And if I go back to the home page, it's here, it's in line. But if anybody else comes here, that article just doesn't exist. Now that I've got the article, I can use this as a content source. So I'm going to go use a source. I'm going to do a carousel post. And we'll do a slightly different style here. We'll do sort of this quiet Lux style. So this is less imagery and more text and more over like a series of, it's kind of like a breakdown. It's 6 slides and it's short, link in bio. Let's just do what it says. It's going to draft the slides here and we're just going to say continue. And it's on my brand colors that I've chosen. So now I'll just walk us through the flow. I saw something cool on social media and I'm like, oh, I like that. I want to talk about that. I scraped the video. I generated an article about that video. It's on brand. I published it to the website, so it's live. And now I'm publishing a social media carousel that I can put on my social media and point people to the article. I can also, I haven't done it, but we can generate emails. We can generate scripts. So we'll bounce over to the email generator in a second. So here you go. Images are coming in. We'll see what this generates. And then we'll bounce over to emails. Pretty powerful stuff, right? Like this is pretty cool that we can do this. So here's the social post, giving my kids inheritance at 25. I'll just blow this up a little bit more so we can see it. It's got my logo, my website. Housing has changed. Family help isn't a cultural shift, it's a market reality. That $1 transfer to 25 compounds for 40 years. At 65, it's often too late. I used a rental property acquired in 2022 as a wealth transfer vehicle. So basically pulling from the article, and the article pulled from whatever that social media post was all about. I've done no work here. You can edit this along the way, but all I've done is click, drop, generate, And now I've got marketing content, and then this is saying link in bio, but I could have done a comment keyword, or I could have said link in comments or whatever, right? Download those, upload them to my site, and I'm good to go. So, some pretty cool stuff there. Before I bounce over to articles, I'll just point out that um, you you do have now. This is supposed to be a studio feature, and I might give you guys the ability to maybe manage one template. But you can see here, create your own templates. This is a studio plan upgrade, and you can essentially add your own templates for articles and your own templates for social media. So currently that's a studio upgrade for good reasons, but in the future we might open this up a little bit and give you the ability to control some of these templates. What we are definitely going to do though is we're going to give you more standard system templates. I've just loaded these for now, but we're gonna beef this up a little bit so that you do have a little bit more variety to choose from. So there you go. So keep your eye out for those. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bounce over to emails. And email, same sort of thing is it's always the same kind of process is we've got what's the email about, from scratch, from library, from scrape. So let's go from library. We're going to choose. I now have, because I generated an article, that article is showing up in my library. I can toggle here and just see my own articles real fast if I want to, but it's right here in the library. So I'm just going to grab that while I'm giving my kids their inheritance. Then it's going to do the same thing. It's going to take us through the angle, the voice. It's going to help us figure out how we should be talking about this. So it's given us a little summary. This is a firm, evidence-based back opinion arguing that an early inheritance can change a child's future. It's saying, hey, let's approach this as sharing an opinion, but you could tell a story, you could teach something. These are email style voices. Let's go medium length. And the ask or the call to action is we're just gonna, this is curiosity. We're just gonna open a loop, and the click closes a loop. So this will be kind of like, hey, if you want to learn more about this, go read my article, as opposed to like a direct call to action or an urgent call to action. So you get to control the level of pressure that you or the hardness or the softness of the call to action. Um, it's it's already come up with a button text. So see why timing matters. This is your essentially your call to action, and it's linking back to your article here. So if I kind of went with something a bit more urgent, it might evolve that to something. But I like see why timing matters. It's selecting the voice, straight talker, trusted advisor, analyst, a friendly pro. This is saying this is a sharp take. This is opinionated. Let's do it. And we're just gonna hit next subject line. So I'm going with the settings. I'm not messing with it. All right. $650,000 changes, inheritance timing. Why my daughter will inherit at 25. Um, I'd rather watch my daughter use it, that kind of thing. So let's go why my daughter will inherit at 25. It's more on point. You can edit this if you want to. It gives you a little bit more flexibility. The system is trying to keep this inside of non-spammy parameters, which is really hard to do. And if you wanted to make this, a little bit longer, you could do that. And then it's got the pre-header text. So this qualifies. So when it shows up in someone's inbox, that's your opportunity to expand on the subject line. We're gonna go with what it says. Reads like a personal note, body first, signature at the end. Let's do that. And off it goes. So this does take a second because it's designing a whole article for you. And again, I'll give you guys a hint. A lot of everything I'm doing manually here in Pro, articles, carousels, scripts, all this stuff, fully automated, done for you. It's like having a social media manager doing this all day long for you and presenting you with stuff to approve. That's the studio plan. So here's the email template that it built out. It's got her banner. We went with that story style, so it's just, some text. It's essentially explaining what it is, and then it's got see why timing matters. And I can copy this if I want to. Oh, I have to save it first. We're going to save the email, and I could copy the design and just sort of paste that if I want to and send it out. So I've got this pasted in my inbox. I think someone drew a little red line earlier, so that's okay. Just ignore that red line. It's not showing up with the templates. And then, of course, it's got the correct link in here. So, if I click on it, uh, may not work right out of the email like that. There's something about the link that unless you send it, it doesn't work, but that's okay. I'll just fix that. There's another way to generate those links inside of these templates so you can test it. But yeah, that's it. So now I've got a full email ready to go. If I want to, open it up again and edit it, I can come back and I can make some changes. And that's email generation. So similar for scripts, although the script is more of a classic style. I won't generate it now, but we're beefing up the interface so it's a bit more modern. You can see up here I've got classic style for email generator too. And we're just in the process of enhancing some of the user interface stuff. So I think I've showed you enough. Scripts is very similar. Basically gives you a video script that you can use. Slides is pretty cool though. Slides allows you to build a whole presentation. So I'm going to go from library and we're going to open this up. And this leverages Gamma. And this will be the last thing I show you, and then we can open up for questions. So I'm going to go why I'm giving my kids their inheritance. Remember, I haven't written anything yet. This is just all happening based on Tom's social post. I'm going to go with a Pearl style. I think that's pretty cool. Actually, I wonder if there's anything that's like really on brand for Crystal. We'll go with Pearl style. It seems pretty nice. Nice and simple. We'll hit continue. And we'll generate the slides. Now, I will be honest, it has been, we've done a lot of upgrades to the user experience here, as you can tell, in the last 2 weeks, and we haven't touched the slides. And I'm noticing here that the source is blank. And so it's possible that that's just a user interface thing. But it's also possible that in the process of beefing up some of the other features, I broke the source link. If this generates a presentation about some other topic, that's on me. If we're gonna let it run its course, it's just possible that it's still pulling from the correct source, but it's not showing me here in my confirmation. So this does take a sec. You can see this is our longest thing. It takes up to 3 minutes. I'm really sorry about that you got to wait 3 minutes to build a whole slide deck, but so be it. While this is generating, any questions popping up for anybody? Feel free to unmute
Yeah, I
and
have a
just
couple
talk.
questions.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, so in the studio version, do you have the option to upload your own branding colors and not choose from like a template?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna open this. I feel like this may not have worked. I'm just gonna open this in Gamma and just see. Um, I think that source may have been broken. Oh, no, it did. It built the presentation. So we just need to improve this user experience so that you've got more visual response. I'm going to show you that in a second on the branding stuff that you just asked about. So why I'm giving my kids their inheritance at 25, brought it in, all on point. This looks really good. And there you go. So, I could play with this. I can edit it. I could download it as a PDF if I want to. Send this out to my database. So you can see there's lots of cool stuff that you can do. So that is officially the end of the walkthrough of the pro features. Okay. We've gone through setting up my profile, all that stuff. And now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come off share. I do want to show off the some of those branding elements that you just asked about for Studio. Before I jump into that, I want to just give anybody the opportunity to ask any questions about the Pro features, just so we can have a nice conclusion to Pro. And then what I'll do is I'll actually enable Studio for Crystal, and then I'll show you what that looks like. So go ahead, Cornita.
So when you're embedding the blog feature, like for the first time, will it automatically take all the articles and put on your website, or is it done one at a time every day? Like, how does it work when you're first starting it?
Beautiful question. It automatically builds the blog with all of the content.
So
And
it'll look
you,
like I've been writing a blog for a long time.
100%. It'll look like you've been
Okay.
writing a blog for a long time.
The
What
reason
you
I
do
was
have the
asking
ability to
about
do
that.
though, if you don't like some of the content, you can remove some of the content. So let me show you here. Go back to the blog widget, and you can see here it's actually showing you there's 157 articles that are in your blog today. But let's say you didn't like uh, the summer renovation one. You can just remove that. And now you
Oh.
see here 156 of 157. But you'll notice your personal article is in here as well. So if I go preview on this blog widget again, financial wellness with Crystal, it's pulled in that article that you wrote. So you're publishing it on Breaking Bank because we need a destination location, but it's now front and center on your own site. And then it just, I've got that summaries enabled, so it's bringing us back to the real article, essentially.
Okay,
So
and my
yeah, you
last
have,
question
yeah, go
is
ahead.
with the pro version, because I've not done anything with Content Flow, we already have access to this through our Strategy Hub
Yeah.
membership.
Yeah, you do. So anybody who's in Strategy Hub or is an SMCP gets Pro for free as part of. You have to be on both. So
Yeah,
you have
I'm
to
on
be like
both.
an SMCP and Strategy Hub, and then you automatically get Pro for free, which is normally $80 a month for Pro.
Okay. And
Yeah,
how
so
much does
everything, which is why
Studio?
I want to make sure that we don't dip into Studio just too fast because everything I've shown you today is part of Pro. And if you're part of the group, you're getting that you're getting that for free. If not, it's $80 a month for those features, essentially.
And Studio is how much, or am I going too far?
You're not going too far. Studio is $250 a month. You get your own custom site, and you're going to get a bunch of automated features like having a social media manager in your back pocket. And you can also feed content sources, so it'll scrape from what's going on in the media. You can take client call transcripts and just drop them into the system, and it'll analyze your client call. It'll strip out any personal details. It'll figure out what you're teaching your clients about, and it'll write articles about that and build your social posts. So basically, you can get to a place where your client calls are your content generation. You just hit record on your client call, grab the transcript, drop it in, walk away. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, you're going to get articles ready to review and approve and publish. And then only published articles become social posts. So then the next day, it'll in the morning when you get your digest, it'll basically give you all the social posts and it'll say, "Hey, these are all the social posts for you to review and approve," because those essentially they get published with links to the articles and all that kind of stuff. So it's a full system. And so
And just to confirm, Scrape is currently available with Pro.
Yes, scraping individual videos is
Yeah.
or reels is available with Pro. On Studio, you can scrape a profile, meaning that if there's someone that you follow that you're like, hey, I really like their content, you can just put their profile in, and that'll become part of your content queue and the suggestions for articles. So you've got four sources. You've got media. It's scraping media for your industry. Like if there's a Bank of Canada announcement, it'll write an article about that, and then give you social posts. If it's your own call transcripts, it'll read and interpret those. All you got to do is drop them in. If you want to scrape someone's social profile and have that be inspiration content for your queue, you can do that. And the other sources, what we call niche topics, where you actually go in and you just plug in all the what you want to target. Like I want to target reverse mortgages or whatever. You can kind of tell it what you want, and it'll generate a bunch of topics for you for your content. So you have all those different sources that you can control. So there's a lot of actual settings that you have control over in Studio. Yeah. Chris Adkins has a question in the chat. Can I embed video in any of my articles or emails? So not on Pro and currently not on Studio, but we just wanted to get all these features working really well. We are working on bringing video into Studio. So there's some cool stuff coming there, Chris, but I don't want to get ahead of myself because we need to see
Thank
how
you.
that's work first.
Thank you. Appreciate
Okay.
it.